Hello, today I'm going to talk about a Star Trek The Adventure game from West End Games in 1985. It's a two-player game, but it also discusses how to play Solitaire as well. It's got nice components. West End Games usually does a good job with the components. So the back of the box shows a little bit about what's involved. It's interesting also that you can look at it from the Federation perspective or also the Klingon perspective. Mission alert, Captain Kirk, Enterprise. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise, her 5-year mission to seek out new worlds and new civilizations, patrolling in the Organian sector between Earth and the dreaded Klingon Empire. She must deter the Klingons from their schemes of conquest without resorting to war. For the Organians, a wise and ancient race with awesome power, forbid it, and they can enforce their edict. The Enterprise and her crew must persuade the inhabitants to join the Federation in peace and brotherhood. This is your task. Live long and prosper. Mission alert. Koloth, Klingon commander. These are the voyages of the starship Swift Victory. His 5-year mission to fight and conquer in the name of the Emperor, patrolling in the Organic sector between Klingon and the decadent United Federation of planets. He must defeat the schemes of the cowardly Federation without the joys of cleansing battle. For the Organians, forbid it, and they can enforce their edict. Swift Victor and his crew must add planets of the sector to their rightful place in the Empire. This is your task in the name of the Emperor. So the focus of this is exploration rather than battle. The box is a box shelf kind of game. Their box games are like thinner than Avalon Hill games, for instance, but they can fit on a bookshelf. As far as components, got an 8-page rule book. It's a paragraph book based game where we do different situations. It'll refer you to paragraphs as far as what the outcomes of your actions are. So this is a lot of the core of the game here. It's like 60 pages. As far as counters, it's got I wouldn't say a huge amount of counters. It doesn't come with a counter tray or anything. So, and it's a little bit thinnish for a bookshelf game. So a little bit difficult to find a tray that works with that. You have to find one that's fairly thin, and I just got a craft tray here that works. Most of the counters are 5/8 inches square. Again, well done. I mean, pictures of Klingons and the Federation. A lot of it is different planets, so it's got nice colorful counters for planets and then other kind of counter markers here. As far as player rates, for the Federation and Klingon, you have these ship displays for the various ships. For the Federation, there's the Enterprise, Ares, Surak, and Beijing. For the Klingons, there's Swift Victory, Hawk Stoops, Death Battle, and Repentance. You have the Reputation track. These are places for a crew and the commander. And these are landing parties, of course. And obviously choices you make here will affect the outcomes of different actions in the paragraph book. And here's the neutral display for both players. Game record. A lot of this is political tracking, so the political track. Summary of skills. Again, this is shorthand notation used in the paragraphs. Reputation tables. Commissioner and agent table. Summary rules. Richter scale of culture, which is interesting. So X planet has no sapient life. F, Stone Age. E, pre-gunpowder. D, pre-industrial culture. C, industrial, pre-atomic. B, atomic, without faster than light travel. A, culture with faster than light. AA, culture is as advanced as the Federation or Empire. And AAA plus is culture is incomparably more advanced than the Federation or Empire. For instance, the Organians. And also in the game, it comes with a couple dice, which are fine. A little bit smallish, but nice. Most of the counters are unique, especially like crew, for instance. And each of the planets are unique as well, so here's one example. The Klingon and the Federation each have one starship that can carry 6 security officers and any number of characters. And then when they deplete their dilithium, you just flip it over and it shows that on the back. And then the Klingons and Federation each have 3 cruisers, similarly shown here. And you flip them over and their dilithium crystals are depleted. Each side has 2 starbase counters. They can be placed anywhere in the Organian Treaty Zone. The back of the base counter is used if the base is destroyed, shown here. Each side has 7 commissioned officers. The front of each commissioned officer is printed with a picture and name. The back is printed with codes indicating the skills and possesses. And these are referred to then in the paragraphs. The usual suspects up here for the Federation. And again, I like that it gives you more insight into the makeup of the Klingon. You get individual crew members' names associated with their functions. Each side has 3 character replacement officers. They don't have any printed skills and are used if any of your commissioned officers die. The Federation player only has 3 head commissioners. They are sent to conduct diplomacy with neutral planets. They are printed with a picture and a name. Each side has 4 security officers remaining. Markers. They are placed on displays to indicate how many security officers each ship has. Reputation. Each side has a reputation marker. It is placed on the player's reputation track to show how many reputation points he possesses. When the player's reputation point total is negative, the number is flipped to the backside. Political balance. One political marker is included, is placed on the political track to indicate the political balance in the Organian sector. If the Federation player has the most political points, is placed to the UFP side up, otherwise Klingon side's up. Then the planets. So when you discover new systems, you indicate the planet and then also its Richter scale of culture. 2 kinds of status markers included. Planet can be neutral, in which case no marker is placed. Permanently neutral, in which case the planet disk is flipped to its backside. Federation or Klingon inclined, a Federation member planet or a Klingon satellite. These are placed on top of the explored planets to indicate current political status. Other markers, when game turn marker is provided. There's also an extra game turn marker. And then there's a couple event markers, so a couple events, and then also if there's a destruction item, they're indicated. Then here's the game map, which is very well done. It's 22 by 17 inches, and it's a board mounted map. It's got unexplored stars, and then it has explored planets. When you explore a star, then you basically see what planet is around that star, and then you indicate it. The existing ones have their technology level stated, and their name, of course. Here's the United Federation of Planets. There's the Klingons. Obviously, Earth is the homeworld here. The homeworld for the Klingons is Klinstein up here. This line indicates the boundaries of Federation space, and this is the boundaries of Klingon space. And here's the Organian Treaty Zone with the systems yet to be explored. Game sequence. Each turn of the game is divided into phases. Initiative. Player with the most reputation points is the first player. Movement phase. 1. Random events. The first player rolls a die. If he rolls a 6, a random event occurs. Movement. The first player can move any or all of his ships. After he moves his ship, he must roll to determine whether its dilithium crystals fail. Dilithium repair. If a ship with exhausted lithiums did not move this turn and is a base, in AA class rolled or Organia, it receives new crystals and its counter is flipped back to the undamaged side. Base repair. If an undamaged ship that did not move this turn is at a base that has been destroyed, it may repair the base, remove the destroyed counter, or flip the base counter to the front side. Second player now repeats steps 1 through 4. Exploration phase. If the first player has any undamaged ships at unexplored stars, he may conduct 1 planetary exploration. Second player then refers to the planet description section in the paragraph book, reads the description of the planet aloud to the first player. After several paragraph references, the first player will be asked to make a decision. After he does so, he will be awarded or penalized reputation and or political points, and may suffer casualties. Also, he is told what the planet's political status becomes. He places and moves the appropriate markers to record these changes. Second player may now conduct 1 planetary exploration. Political phase. The first player may use his commissioners or agents to influence the political status of planets. Agents may also attempt to sabotage ships or bases, or to assassinate commissioners. The second player may then use his commissioners or agents. Ship replacement phase. If a player has any ships on the game turn record track, he may roll to see whether his ships are replaced. Game turn record phase. Game turn marker is advanced 1 box. Victory. After the last extra turn is played, refer to the political track. If the UFP side of political marker is face up, the Federation player wins. If the Klingon side is face up, the Klingon player wins. And then there's Solitaire game rules, or guidance. Solitaire game. When you play the game by yourself, choose either the Federation Klingon side, ignore the rules for the commissioners and agents. You win if you earn at least 5 reputation points and at least 9 political points. If you fail to do this, you lose. I'm going to do the Solitaire version, and in that version you don't use the Federation commissioners or Klingon agents, but I'll discuss how the setup would work for them if you do that. So there's the map, the displays, and then the neutral display. Put the 40 discs over here randomly. Put each of the security officers remaining at the maximum in each ship. Put the reputation markers for the Klingons and Federation at 0. Put the political marker with the UFP set up here. Game turn marker at 1. If the Klingon player were to use agents, he would write them down on a piece of paper, and he may assign 1 of his 3 agents to the Federation home area, and there are no agent counters, he just writes them on paper. The agent may be on any Federation-based planet in the home area. Each player then takes 2 base counters, and then they alternate putting him in the Organian tree zone. Federation goes first, and you don't put him on unexplored stars, you just put him in space. So this is where I set him up, the Federation and the Klingons. Then each player takes his 4 ship counters. Each player can place his ships at any AA world or base in his home area only. So it's the home areas again. So Federation went Enterprise here, Starbase, Ares at a AA, Starbase. Klingon went with the Swift Victory at a Starbase, and then here to Starbase and there to a AA world. Ships can be placed in separate hexes or in the same hex. I put them in separate. Each player then assigns his commissioned officers to ships. Any number of commissioned officers can be placed in each ship. They can all be placed on the same ship, or they can be divided. When a commissioned officer assigned to a ship places a counter in the ship box in the player's display. So of the 7, I put Kirk and Scott on Enterprise, Spock and McCoy on Ares, Sulu and Uhura on Surak, and Chekhov, Beijing. Klingon, Koloff and Kora on Swift Victory, Boroth and Lara on Hook Stoops, Gala and Horrocks on Death Rattle, and Zukov on Repentance. If the Federation player wishes, he can assign any of his high commissioners to his ships by placing their counters in ship boxes. Unassigned commissioners are kept off the board, and I'm not doing commissioners. So. If the Klingon player wishes, he can assign either both his remaining agents to the ships. If his agent is assigned to a ship, the Klingon player notes the agent's location on the scrap paper. And again, I'm not using agents. Then we'll get into play. So actually instead, I'm going to play it Solitaire, but I'm not going to go by the Solitaire rules where you have to get a certain number. You do either the Federation and Klingon, and then you only do them, and you have to get a certain number of political reputation. I'm I'm consistent with Solitaire. I'm not going to use the agents or commissioners because they would require hidden movement. But I will do both sides, and then I'll just play it regularly with the complete turns and extra turns, and then see who has the victory conditions at the end. So there's no reason can't do that since there's not hidden movement, so I'll do it that way. First of all, see who goes first. See who has the most reputation points. They both have equal, and then since they're equal, you look who has their face up on the political track, which is Federation, so they'll go first. In movement, first you do random events. So you roll a dice. If it's a 6, a random event happens, and a random event does happen. So for exploring star systems, random events, and situations on the planet, obviously we use a paragraph book. When I do it to keep it, so I don't want to let out secrets about what's in the book, so I won't state what the actual paragraph number is, and I'll try to keep it generic as far as names of planets, so I don't, spoil surprise when you play, I guess. So for the random events, you roll with the green die with the 10, and then the white one as a 1. So the roll I got corresponds to in the paragraph book. Accidents will happen. While leaving the shower, one of your officers slips and breaks his leg. The enemy player chooses which officer is injured. You may not use any of his skills this game turn. So that's unfortunate. So the Klingon player will choose that Scott is injured. I'll just indicate that he's injured by setting him up there. Then we get into movement. You move to a planet, then you see if your dilithium crystals are depleted. So the Enterprise has Scotty, which normally would allow them a modification to their die roll. But since he's not functional, even if they move to this close star, there's a chance that they'll be depleted if they get basically a 2. They're okay. The Surak will move close in 2, and Sulu and Uhura aren't engineers, so there's a chance that they could be depleted there as well. So 1, 2, 3, roll. They're okay. Ares is on a double A world. They can go a little bit further. They're going to try to go a little bit further and be a little more aggressive getting out there in the treaty zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if they roll less than a 9, since they don't have an engineer on board, 4, they deplete their crystals. Then the Beijing, they'll do a similar approach too. They're going to go out here. There's a starbase nearby. So since there's starbases nearby, they can more easily restore their depleted crystals if they don't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See if he gets less than 8. He gets right at 8, so he's okay. And then they can explore one of the worlds. The Enterprise is going to explore this world. They can only do 1 per turn. These ones won't. Draw from the pile. And again, I'll keep it generic so you don't know. It's got a name of it, but it is a Class C world. So I'll indicate that here. Then we go to the book and see what it says about that world. It's got a unique, description for each world here. We've been ordered to the planet to contact its inhabitants. The orders read at all costs, although no explanation has been given. As we approached the planet, we received a message from an orbital boy. Aliens, you encroach on the space of the planet. You will turn back immediately. This is the only warning you will receive. Following orders, we press on and send out a landing party in an attempt to contact the planet and convince them of our honorable intentions. Assemble a landing party. So unfortunately for this case, the only eligible person I have is Kirk, because of Scotty falling out of the shower from the random event caused him not to be available. So it'll be Kirk, and then security officers. I'll leave a couple on board. So you could write the security officer's number on scratch paper, but I have enough counters here to indicate it here. So it's 4 here, And I just indicate that there's 2 left on the ship, so I do it. Okay, then we'll see what happens. And then you roll. I won't show the roll, but you roll the dice, because I don't want to give away which paragraphs you go into. So on a roll of 1 to 2, you go to a paragraph. 3 to 4, you go to paragraph. 5 to 6, you go to paragraph. Then you read the paragraph. We've beamed down to cloudy limbo. An inhabitant has appeared in the mist, claiming that we are outside and must be destroyed. Suddenly, all around us has appeared a town from ancient history, and we have discovered that we are cast in the role of the losing side from one of the most famous duels in history. You may go along with the plot, be it illusion or reality, and attempt by whatever means possible to change reality, and win. And then for the Federation, you go to a paragraph number, or Klingon, you go to a different one. Or you may attempt to convince the players that none of this is real, and try to avoid the actual outcome through denial of this reality. Federation goes to a paragraph, Klingon to another. Sit down in the middle of the street, close your eyes, and refuse to participate in a sham, and then you go to a paragraph. I'll do the scenario where I refuse to participate. It sends me to a paragraph. And then there's options. So one of the paragraphs says if there's no security guards, what happens? Another is for the case of no skills. Since it turns out since you have security guards, you're not able to resist facing reality. So you have to make a different choice. Decide to go along with it, and then we are sent to a paragraph. So no matter what you do, you end up in a western town, and one of your crew has been killed in a fight. So you have a casualty, so you're going to lose one of the red shirt security guys take the first hit, so you lose one of him. As the time draws nearer, you can only hope our advanced knowledge will allow us to defeat the opponents. An attempt to use tranquilizing darts failed, so you have to use guns. And then if you have personal combat, there's a choice. If there's telepathy, you have a choice, but no skills, another option happens. Let's see what skills Kirk has. He does have personal combat skills, of course. The enemies meet us at the location. They fire, but you're able to overcome them, make them unconscious. But you do take 2 casualties. So again, you lose a couple more red shirt guys. Go to another paragraph. Town disappears. A current inhabitant appears, and they say, the people you set against you have been killed by bullets, but you did not kill them. Is that your way? You explain that it is. And suddenly you return to the ship. Shows no time has passed, and the boy shows a message of positive greeting. And you can proceed with the mission. Kirk goes back up here. Your reputation, you have an R2, so your reputation goes up 2. Your political goes up 2. P2. It's pro-inclined, so it's going towards the Federation. Indicate that as such. And actually it says return any casualties as well, so you get back to full strength. So that worked out well. Then the Klingon player goes, see if there's any random events. Nope. He's going to be fairly aggressive as well. Repentance. Let's see if they have a engineer. No, he's navigation. Go up to this world. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if his dilithium crystals fail. They're okay. See if the death rattle has engineers. They don't have any engineers. He'll just move up here. 3. 9, he's okay. He'll go a little bit further. He wants to go out here. Huck stoops. See if he has any engineers. They don't have any engineers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. It's kind of risky. Since his roll is less than that, his dilithium's depleted. And then Swift Victory. Turns out they have a engineer, so he can take a little more of a chance. But that's his main ship, so he'll go out by this starbase. That way, if his dilithium's depleted, he's got a starbase there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and then he can reduce 2 from his die roll since he is an engineer. He's okay. Then their exploration. They have a few options. He'll have one of his smaller ships explore. Death Rattle's got a good mix of skills there. So he'll have the Death Rattle explore right over here. Draw planet. It's a Type X planet, which doesn't really have any technology. For that planet name, then you look in the book. We are conducting a routine survey of an explored planet. Initial sensor readings indicate a lush world with moderate climate. However, there seems to be no animal life on the planet, human or otherwise. Assemble a landing party. He'll have both his guys go down. Korax with several skills, and Gila with some good complementary skills. They'll just use these like I did with the Federation. I'm just going to have these. They're not security officer markers, but they look similar. I'll just have these to indicate the officers going down, or they could write them on scrap paper. These are actually inclined markers, but they look like the security ones, so I'll just use them for this purpose. So this is showing there's one remaining on the ship, and they have 2 go down. Then you roll. On 1 to 2, you get a 1 paragraph, 3 to 4 on 1, and 5 to 6 another. 4. We beam down to conduct a routine survey mission. 5 minutes after we arrive, strange things begin to occur. One member of our party reported seeing a large furry creature identical to a pet he owned as a child. Another claimed to have seen an old friend from school. We questioned them thoroughly, but they both insisted that what they had seen was real. Meanwhile, the ship relayed a message to us from Imperial Naval Command. We have been ordered to finish our exploration of the system within 50 hours because of political considerations. Also, an ion storm is approaching and must beam up within the hour. You may beam the 2 crew members back to the ship to undergo a medical scan to determine if they are hallucinating. Go to a paragraph for that. Establish a well-defined base camp for further exploration. We'll do 5 or 4 for that. Continue to explore with greater caution. 507. Then I'll make one of those choices, and I won't say which one. You go to the next paragraph that I'm pointing to. We found no trace of the animal or the man our 2 crew members claimed to have seen. Our tricorders detected no sign of life anywhere on the planet. However, other things were reported. There were sightings of dead family members and knight in armor. If these are hallucinations, then how can we all be seeing the same things? Then the choices. If you believe these things are real and to protect yourself, go to paragraph. If you think these things are hallucinations and ignore them, go to 511. Then I'll make a choice. Then you go to the next paragraph. We realize that these creatures must be hallucinations, cannot harm us. Braced by this belief, we ignore the Black Knight. He charged. I ignored him as he killed my crew. Even now he swings his sword at me. Then we woke up at the hospital. Standing nearby was an old man wearing a white robe. What a strange race you are. We asked him what he meant and why we weren't dead. He seemed confused. I see you don't understand. This planet is a play world. Whatever you imagine comes to reality. It obvious how your minds are too undisciplined for you to remain in our world. These are communicators and able to contact the bridge. Everybody seemed relieved and relayed to Imperial Naval Command. They seemed relieved to find us alive, but relayed that Imperial Naval Command was furious we'd spent so much time on the planet. So then you increase your reputation by 2. Increase political by 2. Since the is going more towards the Klingons, then they're the last ones to improve it. You go down to 0, and it's at 0, but the Klingons are the last one to improve it, so that's where the political track is. And they will be permanently neutral. And then I'll just do a little more of one turn. I'll just go through the movement phase, but won't do the exploration because I don't want to show any more of the paragraphs. So first of all, again, random events. We'll see who goes first. And now the reputations are equal, but the Klingons are up on political track, so they'll get to go first. See if they have a random event. Dude, it's a 6. Let's see what the random event is. Roll. Outposts destroyed by aliens. One of your bases of the other player's choice is destroyed. The player must immediately dispatch a ship to the destroyed base. It must move directly to the base. It may not explore until it completes this mission. So that's not good. We'll decide that this one is destroyed. And the swift victory will have to head there, because now we're in the movement. And then the others, Hawk Stoops has depleted lithium crystals. He's got to move back to a AA world or a star base. He can only go at 2. He'll go there. He'll move up here. He's okay. He didn't roll less than 4. He'll stay there to explore. And we'll skip the exploration so I don't reveal more paragraphs. And then we'll do the movement for the Federation. He doesn't have any random events. These two can still explore, so they're good. He'll move up here. And now Scotty's functional, so he's good. He can automatically make it here because he gets 2 reductions. So 1, 2, 3. He's good. He's got to move back to the star base to restore his lithium crystals. So he'll stay there a turn, and then next turn he can move. Oh, then again, we won't do an exploration because I won't reveal any more paragraphs. Hopefully you got a sense of it, though. That's Star Trek The Adventure Game from West End Games in 1985. It's a unique game. It's enjoyable. It's not a combat game. It's a political game, an exploration game. But a lot of the paragraphs have themes from the original Star Trek series. So it's a definitely good, reminiscent game. With the paragraphs, it does gives you a sense of kind of being in that universe. And there's enough of the components that make it interesting. I like that you can learn more, about, the Klingons and what their abilities are, and you can look at it from their perspective as well. Exploration aspect is fun. Play Solitaire. Components are nice, especially the board is very nice. I like how you can set up landing parties and then make those decisions based on that and get your right mix of crew. Enjoyable game. Definitely recommend it. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Thanks a lot.